So let's say you're working from home and you're doing a half day and you said to your 3-year-old, we're going to go soft play in the afternoon when I finish work, but it's 9 a.m. and they have gone to the door to get their shoes and their jackets. And you're just thinking, oh my gosh, this conversation is about to go pear-shaped as soon as I tell them that we are not going soft play now. Hello, I'm Emma and you are watching Purposeful Parenting. I help busy parents create a life that they love and create a relationship with their child where they feel secure, seen and heard. Have you had moments with your child where you are talking calmly and you're requesting them to do absolutely basic things like, could you get your coat so that we can leave the house to go to school? And they are still jumping on the sofa as though they cannot hear you. Well, if that's you, I know how frustrating this can be because I'm a mum of 2 and I've seen this so many times with my clients too. I have pulled this list together. It's 7 fail-proof tools that could get you cooperation with your little ones. Tool number 1, acknowledge their feelings. So what you want to do is to match the tempo of the child, the intensity. Children, usually they have a really big radar for BS. So the agenda here is for you to be as genuine as possible because they can sense when you're not being genuine, especially as their parent. So don't do it in a mucking way. Do it in a way that actually you are really genuine and your intensity reflects that. It matches what they are expressing. So if he's shouting, TV, TV, you want to say, TV, you really want to watch the TV. You really want to watch Paw Patrol. Usually they would start nodding their heads or they would say, yes, Paw Patrol, Paw Patrol. And moving on to tool number 2, what you could then do is to get playful. So you could then turn to the TV and talk to the TV. TV, TV, why are you not working? Josh really wants to watch you and he is upset that you're not working. And then you could act as though you were a puppeteer in a TV's voice. The wire, the internet has broken because the wire fell, and the wire fell because of the storm. Oh no. In this scenario, this actually worked because what Josh then did was to say, again, tell TV. And then the mother did it again. She did this about 3 times. And at the final time, he started laughing. And when he finished laughing, he just walked off and found something else to play with. So it does work. And if playfulness doesn't work, you could try another tool. We have 7 to go through. What I just want to say is, going back to tool number 1, is any of these other tools that we discuss, acknowledging the child's feelings, it's a prerequisite to any of the other tools. So please don't get playful without acknowledging the child's feelings, because that will not work. It's a sure way to fail. So if you start saying, TV, TV, why are you not working? When the child is probably having they're having a tantrum or they're crying and they haven't had their feelings acknowledged yet, that may not work. So acknowledge first and then use some of the other tools. Okay, let's move on to tool number 3, get artistic. Let's say you went shopping and your 4-year-old sees a toy and they want this toy, but you either don't want to get it because it's not a toy that you want in the house long term, or you've not budgeted for it, or frankly you don't want to create a habit that every time you go shopping they would find a toy and pick a toy and demand something from the shop, and then you grudgingly get it, then you decide, actually I'm going to stop taking to the shop altogether. So there could be many different reasons. What you could do is get artistic. Perhaps a budding photographer is waiting to be realized. Take a picture of it. Ask the child if they can take a picture of the item. Tool number 4 is to grant their desires using a wish. The trick here is to know your child. Some children want really practical wishes and some want very ridiculous hugely imaginative wishes. So let's say you're working from home and you're doing a half day and you said to your 3-year-old, we're going to go soft play in the afternoon when I finish work, but it's 9 a.m. and they have gone to the door to get their shoes and their jackets. And you're just thinking, oh my gosh, this conversation is about to go pear-shaped as soon as I tell them that we are not going soft play now. So what can you do is to grant their desires and a wish. You could say something like, oh, you know, after you've said to them we're going to soft play at this time, they don't have the concept of time just yet, so if you could say perhaps after lunch, and that gives them some placement of where that time is during the day. And if they still are just not cooperating and they don't want to hear it, you could then say, I wish the sofa could become a trampoline, and I wish that the entire house was our actual soft play. Oh, I wish the entire street was a soft play. Or I wish we could make the entire world a soft play. Sorry, you can tell what I've been doing in my free time. Yes, so you could go as ridiculous as they would allow you to, if that is the angle that your child likes. And you could say to them, where would you make a soft play? Would you make your nursery a soft play? Would you make the doctor's office a soft play? Would you make the dentist a soft play? Would you make church a soft play? And sometimes it could just, that could diffuse the situation, and then they could just go off and find something else to do, and perhaps just find a sofa to a cushion to then start jumping on, and imagine that that was soft play. Okay, that moves us nicely into tool number 5, is to redirect. Redirecting their action and their attention to something that is similar. So in this request for going to soft play, I can hear a request for movement. So perhaps you want to pull the cushion out and then pretend that it was a trampoline and you're jumping on it. And if your child, I'll be careful of this, so if your child is one who likes to watch you play, you might end up being on that sofa for long. But if they're a child who actually just wants you to prompt a redirection and then they will go off doing their own thing, then that's something that you could do. And if it's something that, if it's an area where they are actually used to moving, you could just slowly navigate them to that area and then sit and see what they do, and if they do actually use it, and if they do then start moving. Or you could put on some music that they like where they can start dancing. Well, that's if the Wi-Fi is back on. Well, so there are many different ways that you could navigate this in terms of redirecting to get cooperation. Tool number 6 is give a choice. Give them a choice. Would you like to put your vest on or your pants on first? If you're needing cooperation whilst you're trying to get dressed for school, or you're trying to get out of the door for work. And this really allows a child to feel in control and gives them some autonomy, which we are all seeking. Every human being requires some autonomy, and helps them to learn how to make decisions from very early on. And this is a skill that would serve them well as they grow up. But what happens when you've tried all these tools and your child is still not cooperating, and you really have places to be? You've got work to do, you have a train to catch, or you need to come back to your desk so that you can log into your daily meeting. What do you do? Again, you're going to go back to number 6. It's to give them a choice. It could sound something like this. Would you like me to get you dressed, or would you like to do it yourself? Would you like to walk to the car? After you try being playful, for example, and that hasn't worked, would you like to walk to the car yourself, or would you like me to take you there? Here are the 2 choices. What do you choose? And if they still haven't made a choice, this is where tool number 7 comes in. Calmly follow through with an action. So if they decided not to get dressed, then you could help them get dressed. And you can imagine what may happen, right? The flailing of the arms, the crying and saying, no, I don't want to get dressed. I don't want to wear this. I don't want to wear that. So the trick is to remain as calmly as you can whilst getting them dressed. Yes, it will take a little bit of energy from yourself, but you follow through without shouting, without yelling, without actually refrain from saying anything that you will regret, or that's preachy or teachy, or just calmly. What you could do is to repeat, you had the choice, and it looks like you chose for me to put your clothes on. or if you needed to get them into the car, you had a choice, and you chose for me to take you to the car whilst they are there flailing their arms. You're maintaining as much calm as possible. So you follow through with the choice that they have made with as much calm as you can muster. So you're thinking, but the whole idea of cooperation is to avoid the tears. Okay, the tears sometimes are not avoidable, right? To gain cooperation, sometimes they cry. I've given you 6 tools that you could use to have less tears. And this one is for when you've tried everything and it just doesn't work and you still have to follow through. But this avoids you using things like bribes, threats, punishments, and things that sometimes you may later on regret, and actually causes more rupture to your relationship than is worth. Okay, so as always, in the comments, I want to know what resonated with you. Please share this video with as many parents as you know, so any mums or dads that would find this helpful, who have little ones, who may not be listening, or who just actually want to know how to get their little ones to cooperate more with them. Okay, I shall see you next week. Enough talking. Bye.